Hey guys, it's Miss Savannah. So today is Friday and we are going to be having a food web project. So you have the weekend to work on this as well, but it really shouldn't take you too long. So this project will be used to show me that you have a good understanding of food webs. So you're going to create a food web on a poster board using pictures or drawings. So you don't have to print out pictures if you don't have a printer or anything like that. You can just draw your animals. That make up the food web. So you need to read and follow all the directions carefully in order to get all the points that you deserve. So your project will have at least 10 total animals. So just use 10. That's fine. If you want to put more, you can, but it doesn't have to be at least 10. Well, it has to be at least 10, but you don't have to do like 20. So you're going to pick an ecosystem that you want to explore. So we haven't really talked about the different ecosystems. So we've got these different ecosystems. We've got desert, forest, ocean, lake, stream, polar ice cap, pond, mountain slope, and etc. So ecosystems fall into many different varieties. So you're going to pick your ecosystem first. So this is a good idea to Google types of ecosystems if you get stuck. So if you're going to the desert, you would need to Google what type of animals live in that desert so you could know what your food web's going to look like. And if you want to look up, which animals are omnivores, carnivores, all that stuff. So you must label your poster as to what type of ecosystem you are showing so that I know what ecosystem you chose. So your animals are to be divided up in the following manner. So animals and plants. So you need the energy source. So the sun must be located somewhere on your poster because we talked about that the food web starts with the sun. So you're going to research your ecosystem on the internet. What are the producers? So you need 2 producers in the ecosystem. Those organisms get energy from sunlight and turn it into food. So these are like types of plants. So you need to choose 2 types of producers or plants. Start with identifying your producers in the ecosystem. So you're going to have the sun, and then you're going to have your 2 producers. And then next, you're going to have 2 primary consumers. So which organisms get their energy directly from the producers? These will be herbivores since they eat the plants, which get the energy originally from the sunlight. So if you have, if you're in an ecosystem, you got a zebra, that zebra would be your primary consumer because it only eats plants because it's an herbivore. So then next you're going to identify the secondary consumers. You'll need to have 2 of these. These are the animals which are carnivores and eat the primary consumers. So think of something that would eat a zebra. They get their energy from consuming smaller creatures ranging from insects to rabbits and small birds. So maybe for the secondary consumer, you would choose something smaller than a zebra, actually, maybe like a rabbit. And then your tertiary consumer would be something really big, like on the top of the food chain. Think of like vicious, large animals like coyotes, foxes, hawks, eagles, wolves, and bears. So these are going to be your tertiary consumers. And then you're also going to need to identify 1 decomposer. So these are the animals, usually bacteria or fungus, or like worms, which break down the cells of dead plants and animals into simpler substances. So you're going to need the sun, 2 producers, 2 primary consumers, 2 secondary consumers, 2 tertiary consumers, and 1 decomposer. So your points, you'll get 10 points for listing all of those. And then you'll also get 10 points of identification of your specimen or your animal or plant. So these must be accurate. So if you draw a bear, don't label it as a frog. You need to label it as what it is. And each animal must be correctly identified with its name and have a picture or a drawing to represent it. So also labels. So each animal must be accurately labeled as to its role within your food web. So you need to let me know, like up here, is it a tertiary consumer, secondary consumer, primary consumer, all of that. and neatness does count. So you will connect all your animals with lines showing the transfer of energy. So the arrows must point to the correct definition and be biologically accurate in terms of predator-prey relationships. So use a ruler and a marker to achieve neat, highly visible straight lines. So remember, the arrow is pointing towards the thing that is eating. So if I have a frog and a bird, the bird is going to eat the frog. So the arrow needs to be pointing towards the bird because the frog is going to go into the bird's mouth. So your food web must be done on a poster board. If you don't have poster board, you can just take a bunch of pieces of notebook paper or just some sort of paper. I don't want you guys to have to go out and buy a poster board unless you want to. So you can just take a bunch of pieces of notebook paper and tape them together. So you must choose any color you want. You may want to choose a color that goes with your ecosystem. So I know a lot of you really like to draw, so please just try your best on these drawings. Yes, so that is about it. Here is an example of a food web for the rainforest. So they use color coding. So for their primary consumers, they put it in blue background, but I just want you guys to label it. And so once you finish this, your instructions are on the next slide are to take a picture of it. So you'll take a picture and I want you to make the picture as big as possible. We will probably also have you show me in the Google Meet for the Wednesday. So don't throw your projects away. But I do want you to take a picture of it and make it as big as you can on that sheet. Okay, and if y'all have any questions about this, please let me know. All your directions will be on the next slide. You'll get this same sheet. All right, thank you guys.